46 local high schools compete in a tournament of knowledge for a trip to Europe on this year's hottest game show, Bay Area Quiz Kids. Brought to you by SBC, Oracle, and the San Mateo Credit Union. And now, the best host on the West Coast, the one, the only, Brad Friedman.
Thank you so much. Welcome. We're in the second game of our new season of Quiz Kids, and we hope you joined us last week and join us every week this year. We have 46 incredible teams who are going to use all their speed, knowledge, and collaboration for a chance to win incredible prizes. Today's teams, over here, we got the Summit Prep Huskies. And in this corner, the Woodside Wildcats. So let us play the collaboration round. Welcome, Emma and gentlemen, to our show. As you may know, since most of you played last year, we play this first round as a team. I will ask a series of 10-point questions to your teams. If you have a few seconds to collaborate and your captain gives me the right answer, Emma or Tom can earn 10 points for the team. If you give me the wrong answer, the other team will have a few seconds to collaborate and possibly steal those points away. We'll go back and forth question by question until the buzzer signals the end of the first round, okay? Good luck to both teams. Summit Prep, you get the first question. The historic site dedicated to this book is in a small log cabin in Independence, Kansas. In what novel would you find the characters Charles, Caroline, and Mary, along with the author, Laura Ingalls Wilder, as the central character?
Little House on the Prairie.
That's right, for 10 points. Your first question, Wildcats. Probably the most famous example is in Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water, where he used one of these to project a large balcony out into free space. What is this kind of load-carrying beam found in bridges such as the eastern span of the San Francisco Bay Bridge?
An I-beam?
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. You can steal.
A suspension beam?
It's a cantilever. Here is your next question, Summit. For artificial elements, the amount listed on the periodic table is usually the amount of the most stable isotope. What quantity in chemistry is the sum of an element's protons and neutrons?
Atomic weight?
That's right, for 10. Woodside, in the Japanese general election in September, what incumbent prime minister's Liberal Democratic Party won control of 62% of the House of Representatives?
Koizumi?
That's right, for 10. The middle infielders for the American League during this year's All-Star game both played on the Orioles. Name either the Orioles second baseman or shortstop who was a former Oakland A.
No answer.
Don't know. Okay, you can steal.
Miguel Tejada?
Yes, or Brian Roberts. Good for you. Though the name means billy goat in Greek, this mythological creature probably looked a lot more scary. What creature was defeated by Bellerophon with the help of Pegasus and had a lion's head, a goat's body, and the hindquarters of a dragon?
The Chimera?
That is right, for 10. What band includes Duff McKagan and Slash, formerly of Guns N' Roses, and lead singer Scott Weiland, formerly of the Stone Temple Pilots?
No answer.
Don't know. Can you tell me and steal?
The Rolling Stones.
Oh, you guys, you gotta be with it now. Hip, cool. Velvet Revolver. Wildcats. It held its first meeting in London in 1920, and its first action was to ratify the Treaty of Versailles. What body then moved to Geneva and existed until 1941 as the predecessor of the United Nations?
The League of Nations?
Correct, for 10. The first one was built on Ludgate Hill by the Saxons in 675 AD. Later, Normans rebuilt and enlarged it. By 1300, it was the third longest church in Europe. What is this major London cathedral rebuilt in 1668 by Christopher Wren?
Westminster Abbey?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Castile.
I have no idea.
St. Paul's Cathedral. The book its namesake wrote about it may have been based on the lectures of Johann Bernoulli. What rule uses derivatives to help compute limits with indeterminate forms?
L'Hopital's rule.
That is right, L'Hopital's rule. That's the end of the round. Let's look at the score. Summit has 20, Woodside's in the lead with 50 points. We will come right back and meet our teams. Don't go away. And we're back. You know, every week people traipse in from all over California. Some come from as far away as Cotati. And you too can come and be in our studio audience if you call us at 650-637-1936. You can make a group from Cotati if you'd like. We'd love to see you here live at our studio audience for a future taping. And now, let's say hi to the Summit Prep Huskies and Emma Pellegrini O'Day. Emma, were you captain last time?
I was.
Yeah, you like that leadership role, don't you? And you get the strength for leadership, I think, from being on crew. You talked about that last year, but something good happened to you at the end of the crew season last year.
Yeah, actually, at the end of the crew season, we have championships, actually the regional championships, which are Southwest, which include California, bits of Nevada, and Arizona. And I was in a freshman boat, which consists of all freshmen, four freshman rower, and a coxswain who steers. And we won the gold medal, actually, in the regional championship.
Wow, congratulations. How exciting.
It was very exciting.
And now you're training for your new season.
Yeah, actually, the fall season is much longer than the spring season, and the races are as much as 3 times as long.
Well,
so they're more endurance.
I hope you have a wonderful, successful season again. David Aronson. David, you love to read, and you just read one of those exciting, challenging novels that many young people discover, which was?
A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess.
So you want to tell us your impressions of that and compare it to the movie?
Yeah. Well, I saw the movie first, the Kubrick version, and when I read the book, in the introduction, Burgess mentions the extra chapter, which basically makes the book a piece of literature that the movie isn't. Burgess mentions that literature basically is based on the founding principle that human beings can change. The movie suggests that he can't, because at the end of the movie, he's just as bad as he was in the beginning.
Does it make you wonder why Stanley Kubrick didn't change Alex?
Well, Kubrick didn't change Alex because Kubrick was looking for an American audience, and the American book had been released without the last chapter, whereas the British version had been released with the last chapter.
Did you feel incomplete after you read the book and thought about the movie again?
To some degree, I felt that the movie should have included the last chapter.
Well, good. You can remake it correctly. Poor Stanley Kubrick, he'll be so jealous. Christopher Aiden. Christopher, you're a sophomore. You played last year for a different team. I recognize you. I thought you played last year, but it wasn't for Summit Prep.
Yep. I played for St. Carlos High School.
Well, say hi to everybody at St. Carlos High School.
Hi, St. Carlos.
Yeah. He feels so guilty.
I do.
And you just finished a book that you wanted to say.
Yes, I did. I just finished 6 Easy Pieces by Richard Feynman.
And what did you think?
I thought that it was pretty good. It was really detailed, and I didn't understand.
Richard Feynman is not necessarily a household name for a lot of readers, so would you recommend people pick up his work?
Only if you feel inadequate not knowing about some very, very complex
And that's why we read literature.
Yes.
And Richard Feynman's my uncle. He's not, but still, give him a plug. Let's give a big hand to your coach, Bruce Breggy. Whose son also played for another team many years ago. It's now a junior at Stanford. I'm getting so old. And Tom Garifo, whose brother also played and stood where you're standing a few years ago on the Woodside team.
Yes.
Tom, you're now a junior. I've watched you grow up from a little guy in the audience cheering your brother on, and now your brother's in the audience cheering you on, and it's like deja vu.
Yeah.
You're having a busy junior year already. No time for fun.
Not really, no.
But you told me that you can't talk a lot about it because it's a personal thing, but writers do get personal about their stuff. You're trying to write a novel.
Yeah.
What kind of novel? Genre?
It's fantasy.
Fantasy novel?
You know, wizards, mages, dragons.
So you figure 5
Sword
parts,
fight.
6 parts, 7 parts?
I don't know.
Are you on like your 1,000th page? I've seen these books in
I'm
the
on the
bookstores.
75th page, but
70
it's like a Microsoft Works page, so.
Oh, so it's a lot of pages. Well, good luck to you with that. Kevin Irish, well, you're playing soccer and robotics again, and you told me you have nothing new to share, and then you suddenly remembered after I talked to Tim that you are a Boy Scout, and you are working on your Eagle project. What is it?
I am making an arbor for the entrance of the Union Cemetery in Redwood City.
That sounds very nice. And you got some donations from the city, and you get some from nurseries and plant roses there so people will have a lovely sight to see when they visit.
Yep.
Good for you. Tim Bichet, a senior, and you're working on a very exciting Eagle project.
Yeah, I'm building a bookshelf and furnishing it with books for the El Camino Hospital in Mountain View.
For a children's wing.
Yeah.
So kids who need something to read to keep their minds off what they're going through. So
Yeah.
listen, folks, if you want to help out with the arbor or that, call Woodside. Talk to Tim or Kevin. Maybe they can use some donations of books or some roses or things like that. Let's give a big hand to your coach, Wes Irish. And please join me as we say hello to our judge, Mr. Brad Reed. All right, enough chatter. We'll come back to play more Quiz Kids after these messages. It's time for the lightning round. Put your hands on your buzzers, folks. I'll ask you a series of 10-point questions. The first person to buzz in gets to answer for your team. Give me the correct answer, you score 10 points. Give me the incorrect answer, the other team can collaborate and possibly steal those points. If you buzz in before I complete the question, you will have to answer with the information you have heard thus far. If you get the wrong answer, I will repeat the whole question for the other team before they get their chance to collaborate. Good luck to both teams. It's 20 to 50. Here we go. Agreements, such as those signed at Oslo, Helsinki, or Camp David. What word meaning a formal act? Yes, Christopher.
Accord?
Correct. The plaintiff, after the court ruled against him, was forced to pay $25 for violating a Louisiana statute. What Supreme Court decision laid the precedent for the doctrine separate but equal in 1896? I'm sorry, that's too late. That was Plessy. They consist of a stipe, a rachis, and a blade. What term is applied to the leaves of palms, cycads, and ferns? Fronds. In 2004, the South Florida Sun Sentinel called for him to be fired, claiming him to be responsible for the disbursement of funds to Miami, which was not even affected by Hurricane Francis. Who is this former director of FEMA? Tom.
Brown?
That's right. A circus acrobat, he was part of a troupe called the Flying Graysons until, yes, Tom?
Dick Grayson or Robin?
That's right. Avgolemeno is a Greek version with chicken, lemon, and egg. Gazpacho and vichyssoise are cold versions. Emma.
Tomato soup.
Judge? All right, we'll accept that. The play that it was based on was banned in Vienna, but as an opera, it was one of Mozart's most successful. What is this opera with Count Almaviva and Susanna, the future wife of the title character? Emma.
The Barber of Seville.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
The Marriage of Figaro. Yeah. The Marriage of Figaro?
That's it. We're thinking sequels. The Greek word for this creature is strangler. However, the Arabic name translates as father of terror, which is consistent with the myths about them. There may have been as many as 900 sculptures of them in Luxor, but the most famous is what sculpture at Giza?
The Sphinx?
That's right, Tom. She is the all-time best-selling author of any genre except William Shakespeare and has sold more books in French than even any French author. She's also one of my favorites. Who is this mystery author of Death on the Nile and yes, Tim?
Agatha Christie.
Correct. If the sine of a certain angle is the square root of 2 over 2, then the arc sine of square root of 2 over 2,
45.
no, I'm sorry, is what first quadrant angle in radians? And they're all turning to Chris. Emma?
No answer.
Pi over 4. This Greek island became a popular destination after Charles and Diana spent part of their honeymoon there. What island? Yes, Tim?
Crete.
No, I'm sorry. What island did Odysseus rule during the Trojan War?
Malta?
Ithaca. Ryan Longwell, Nate Kading, Adam Vinatieri, and Sebastian Janikowski are all NFL players that play what position?
Quarterback.
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect, Tom. You can steal.
What's another running line?
They're the kicker. He took a year to finish a degree in architectural drafting before returning to LA to resume his rap career. Who has since had a successful film career with such movies as Friday and the Barbershop movies? David.
Ice Cube.
That's right. The separatist movement in Chiapas, Mexico took its name from what figure of the 1910 revolution that opposed the dictatorship of Porfirio Diaz? Emiliano Zapata. That's the end of the round. Let's look at the score. Summit has 50. Woodside's in the lead still with 100 points. We will return with the final round in just a minute. Don't go away. Let's play the extreme lightning round. Point values double, place names the same as the last round. Good luck to both teams, 50 to 100. Here we go. This word applies to Connor McLeod and his younger clansman. Yes, Christopher.
Highlander.
Correct. It replaced the CQD signal, which was proposed by Marconi in 1904. CQD didn't last long when in 1908, an international conference agreed to adopt the German standard. That is what three-letter Morse code distress signal? Tom.
SOS.
Right. In Northern Europe, this bug was associated with the Norse goddess Freya. But when Christianity came around, it was then given the name the beetle of Our Lady. What is this insect that brings... Yes, Tim?
Ladybug.
That's right. Did you know it's really called a ladybird? The bicentennial of this event was commemorated this year with the reenactment of the state funeral of Admiral Lord Nelson. What was this most significant naval engagement of the Napoleonic... Emma?
Trafalgar?
Correct. Chief Osceola is the mascot of what large Atlantic Coast college? Florida State. They fled the Mongol Empire to set up a state within the decaying Seljuk Empire in the early 13th century. What group of Turkish peoples established their own empire, which, yes, Tim?
The Ottoman.
Correct. Like the entrance to the Louvre, what San Francisco Art Museum also has a, yes, Tim?
SF MoMA.
No, I'm sorry. Also has a glass pyramid created by I.M. Pei as part of its design.
The Metreon?
No, it's the Palace of the Legion of Honor, one of San Francisco's most beautiful museums. It is the successor to the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade and has the broad goal of abolishing international trade barriers. What is this oft-protested against organization created in 1995 and headquartered in Geneva? Tim?
The World Trade Organization.
That's right. After he returned from postgraduate travel in Europe, he hung out in New York where he met Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg. Who is this beat writer and author of Naked Lunch? And you shouldn't read it yet. William Burroughs. This field involves the operations, differentiation, and integration. What field of mathematics was formally introduced by... Yes,
Calculus.
That's right, Kevin. What city is sometimes called the Gulf capital of Pennsylvania and the chocolate crossroads of the world? Tom?
Hershey.
That's right. Abandoned at least for the time being, it may be destroyed. At what sports venue did several thousand citizens of New... Yes, Tim?
The Superdome.
Yes. Winston Zedmore, Raymond Stantz, Egon Spengler, and Peter Venkman make up what group of New Yorkers dedicated to fighting paranormal activity? Tom.
The Ghostbusters?
That's right. In Japan, this day is a national holiday and family reunions are held. It was also the first day in the French Revolutionary calendar since the monarch was overthrown the day before. Tim.
July 15th?
No. What is this day that signals the beginning of fall in the northern hemisphere?
September 21st?
It's the autumnal equinox, or the fall equinox, or the September equinox. Is it September 21st? No. This company is not named after a city in Northern California, but rather a ranch near Santa Barbara. What is this offshoot of Abercrombie & Fitch that sells Tim?
Hollister?
That's right. The title character of this nursery rhyme appears in both Toy Story movies. The narrator tells her to leave them alone and, yes, Tim.
Little Bo Peep?
Correct. It is a series of 4 epic operas that would take 15 hours in order to hear the whole thing, with Das Rheingold about 2.5 hours and the Götterdämmerung about 5. What is this collection by Richard Wagner? Christopher.
Ride of the Valkyries?
No, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. You can steal.
The Ring des Nibelungen?
I'm going to accept the Ring of the Nibelung. You did very well with that. Congratulations. That is the end of the game. Let's look at the score. 90-320. Woodside moves ahead. Summit Prep. You guys played very well, and we really enjoyed having you here. I wish you all the best for the rest of your year at school, and we will see you guys in the second round of play. Find out who you're playing in the future round. Good luck to you. Keep practicing. Hope you'll all come and see us next week on Quiz Kids. Bye-bye.
Writers helped to make this program possible. SBC, the San Mateo Credit Union, and Oracle. Tournament champions will win an all-expense-paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS. Additional support provided by these Bay Area newspapers: the Burlingame Scottish Rite of Freemasonry and the Knights Templar.